going on, everybody? Everton 1, Watford 0. You know, Gomez started. That's the big thing. I thought when I first saw the team sheet come out, I thought that we could have gone a whole bunch of different ways with the starting formation. I thought Silva and some of us in the live watch along that I do thought that it was kind of sneaky of Marco to withhold the information on Gomez that he was going to be starting. But so we were like, oh look, it could have been Tom Davis and Gabamin. That's what we all thought it was going to be, with Schneiderlin being out, Delph not being ready, and Gomez being out. So that could have probably left us lighter in the midfield. When I saw it was going to be Bamin and Gomez, kind of got my hopes up. But 5-10 minutes in, you could kind of tell that Senior Gomez was not quite up to snuff. Fitness-wise, but I still think he had a great game. We can get into that later. That was only real difference in the lineup that I thought we were going to see. I didn't think we were going to see Iwobi from the start. I didn't think we were going to see Ken from the start. So basically, what we got was the same team as last week, pretty much, besides Bamin in for Schneiderlin. Game started off well. First game at Goodison, obviously, had the flags, had the sirens. Shout out to the originals and all those that had something to do with the atmosphere or trying to, do the atmosphere. 1 second. Sorry. Had to get rid of that. Sorry about that. I'm just doing this in one take because it's really late over here. So I thought we came out the gates pretty well. I thought, as usual, our two fullbacks looked lively, Seamus and Luca. Therefore, the wingers, if you want to call them wingers, Bernard and Richarlison also looked sharp, coming off the back of subpar games away to Crystal Palace. We huffed and we puffed throughout the whole game. It was clear I thought a part of the game that was going to be really, really critical was the centre of the midfield for both teams today. Look, you had Gomez, Bamin, and Sigurdsson on our side. You've got Decore, Capoue, and Will Hughes for Watford. They're a nice little decent midfield. Obviously, we know the qualities of Decore. I think Capoue is a really decent midfielder. Could possibly be, the best. I know the Bundle League don't have any points, but just going by, if you're going to play two defensive midfielders that are just, what you see on the tin, I think Decore and Capoue work very, very well together, so that was kind of worrying, but I don't think either team really bust the midfield. Most of the game wasn't played, in that area of the pitch. It was mostly out on the wings for both teams, from what, I saw throughout most of it. We had our chances overall, a couple in the first couple of minutes, and then, bam, 10 minutes in, Bernard scores. Wonderful piece of play from Luca Dean. Everything that lad does seems to be, can I say he's better than last season only after 2 games, but I think his vision, his link-up play, and wavelength synergy, if you will, with Bernard is outstanding. So it wasn't a surprise that, we're backing up, we win the ball back by our own 18, and the first thing Luca does is look up, wham, long 40, 50-yard ball out to Bernard. Bernard, picks it up, got pace, great technical player, obviously. But usually when he picks up the ball in that position, I'm like, just go at the defender, make him commit, get inside the box. He can't bring you down, he can't touch you, all that good stuff. But usually when Bernard gets inside the 18-yard box, it's just, and he goes into some parallel universe where left is right and right is left and up is down and down is up and nothing makes sense. And I'm not going to say he balls it, he just seems to flub his lines all the time. And I remember, actually, I watched the Arsenal versus Burnley game, early game today, and Lacazette, Aubameyang scored pretty much exactly the same type of goal that Bernard scored for us today. He got on the left-hand side, he cut inside, opened up his legs nice and wide, started striding, balled his way into the box, cut inside, leaves the defender for dead, and then wham! Goal goes in. And I actually thought to myself at that point, I was like, I wonder if Bernard can do it. That's the difference between, top world-class quality players and, medium, run-of-the-road, average players. is the ability just to do that. It's to not lose focus. It's just to stick to your task and just finish with finesse and style and gusto. And then Bernard proved me wrong, because I'm not critical of too many players. I'm only critical of one player on our team right now, and that stems to last season, stems to preseason, stems to this game, and that's Gylfi Sigurdsson. We'll get into that in a little bit. But that Bernard goal, great. Love to see him getting on the score sheet. Love to see him getting his just rewards for his effort, because he runs his little socks off. He represents this, doesn't he? Works his socks off, gets back, tackles, always available for a pass, always a outlet on the side there, way out wide most of the time. Cuts in beautifully to allow Luka his space around the outside to get his the balls into the box. So outstanding game from them. Other players again looked off the pace. Richarlison, already mentioned Gomez, or mentioned Bamin. All three of those for different reasons. Obviously, Bamin's new. Still trying to find his feet in the Premier League, in our team, in our squad. Only had 2.5 weeks worth of training. Gomez probably had light off to the side jogging and training most of the week. Not 100%. Richarlison had a long Copa America. Only got back last week or two of preseason, so he's not up to it yet. Missed some good chances. Had a couple of headers that he should have probably got his head around a little more, got them on target, but we need more dribbling at defenders from him. We need more facing up his the fullbacks and all that, and so not a horrible game, but maybe 6.5 out of 10 total. One person I do want to talk about though, Gylfi Sigurdsson. I don't know what I'm not going to say excuse, but he didn't go anywhere for preseason. He was there most of the time, got all of his fitness done, played in all of the games mostly, except maybe, I don't know if he showed up and played in Kenya, but he got married, so is that the problem? I don't know. It's not. Sorry, but no, I don't think he doesn't really have any excuse. He's been here 4 years now. We're playing basically the same formation around the same players that he was playing with at the end of last season and during the summer and all of that. He's not trying to be better than. He's not coming back from an injury. He's just not really being creative at all. And I guess it's maybe because we're getting compressed by the short width of the defense, and especially against Palace, it was the low block. We hear so much about the low block, but that's got to be broken down. Gylfi Sigurdsson is not mobile enough and not creative enough in a pinch to do anything in a low block, and especially with, showed again with Watford today with Decore, with Capoue and their centre backs, Cathcart and Dawson. They knew when to step out. They knew what Dominic Calvert-Lewin's abilities, skills, and assets are. So they knew he wasn't going to. He was probably going to bring the ball down. He's probably going to control it well on his chest or with his feet. But today that wasn't even a thing. It was bouncing off of him all over the place. He wasn't really holding the ball up, able to bring people into play. So when you've got a number 9 and a number 10 that don't have the ability to bring the ball down and turn their defender, face them up and make them commit or bring other people into play, you're going to have to constantly keep going out to the wings with Bernard, with Richarlison, with the overlapping fullbacks. So it's still really, really one-dimensional for me. If plan A doesn't work, then we don't really have a plan B and a plan C. You're going to hear me, and I say it all the time on my channel, say it all the time in my watch alongs. No plan B, no plan C. That's what I'm always talking about. So, we got through the game. Eventually, Luka got injured. Holgate came on. Didn't think he did awfully, but what people do say about him playing in the fullback position with his lack of spatial awareness, his overcommitting when he shouldn't be, kind of being out of position, being rash. We saw quite a bit of that, and he nearly allowed Watford in towards the end after he came on. But for coming in playing right back, Seamus going to left back, I wasn't worried really at any point, because Deeney had a quiet game, bossed absolutely off the park from minute 1 by Yerry Mina and Michael Keane. Those two, beautiful. Like the amount of times that the ball would come in and boom, Mina gets it out there, and then but maybe it comes back in and they recycle it, and then wham, Keane's got it going out there. And then we had the couple of the battles between the Yerry versus Jerry, De Feifu. I'm sorry, I don't want to disrespect him. Gerard de la Feu. Welcome back, though, Jerry. You're a great guy. Inconsistent, yada, 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 all that. He was kept quiet most of the game. I think he was carrying a slight knock or not quite up to it. But, yeah, him and Deeney didn't really get a sniff. Will Hughes wasn't really involved that much. Their biggest threat for me, and I said this before the game on my channel, and kept saying it over and over again during the stream, was that Holovas has one perler of a left foot on him. So every set piece, every corner, Holovas is always a danger man. They've got players who get on the end of stuff. Like I said, Capue's a tall guy. Decore's a tall guy. Deeney knows how to get stuck in. He's a physical presence. De La Feifu, all sneaky Pete, could get in there. So their only real avenue for scoring a goal looked like either a quick breakaway with Jerry or from corners. But when you've got Keggers at the back and you've got Mina at the back, and don't forget Pickford in goal. Thought he had a good game. Couple of saves he had to make there. Some of them devising was him getting, and he took it right to the face, obviously, and got back up like the boy that he is. And yeah, so 1-0. Always looked like the result. We did score early. That's always good. Get the crowd on your side. Make them come out. Make them have to come and attack you, because that's what we didn't do against Palace, right? If we could have actually scored one of those many, many chances, I'm looking at you again, Sigurdsson. I'm looking at you again, Siggy, or Coleman, or Richarlison, or many of the people that could have scored in that game. You make teams like Crystal Palace come out. They can't play 1-0 down at home and not come out and be on the attack. They either have to get a point. They have to play for personal pride. They have to try and even get 3 points. So when teams start coming out on us, start attacking us, we can counterattack. We can break. We can, they leave holes and spaces in behind that we can, take advantage of. And that's kind of what Watford did today after they scored, and that's why we need to get the early goals in these games, because it fits our style of play to score first, to make the team actually do something other than just defend and try and get out there with a point, because a lot of teams are going to do that. Staying in the Premier League is very, very key. So a lot of people will play the Allardyce tactics, will play the Dyche tactics, will play the former ref of Benitez tactics, and just try and escape with a point, and you pick up points here, you pick up points there, you beat the teams around you, you stay in the Premier League, you don't lose 120 million, going down to the Championship, guaranteed TV money and all that. So, and then substitutes, like I said, I already talked about Mason Holgate. Thought he did all right. It was a change that had to be made, so, no harm, no foul right there. Walcott came on, did his regular Theo thing. Richarlison obviously not fully fit, not fully up for it. So while he came on, he did one piece of, not say brilliance, but what Walcott does. Got some space one-on-one with Holovas on the left. Holovas was already on a yellow card, so I think that was also part of the change that needed to be made, because you have to put those players under pressure when they're on a yellow card. And he came on, knocked it around him. I thought, oh, here comes Wally, just cut it back to the penalty spot, maybe to the 18-yard line. Someone's going to come rushing in. It'll be 2-0, but of course he just balloons it and just puts too much stank on it, and it flies over the top. But I thought Walcott had a good game. And then Moise Kean. Everyone wants to see Moise Kean play. We know his abilities. We've all seen the videos. Hopefully we all saw him play for Juventus, play for the national team. He came on, and the first thing this lad does is what I said before that Gylfi Sigurdsson doesn't do, playing in the number 10 role, or I guess a lower number 10 role. And what Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't do is screening across the front, looking for the ball, picking up space between the defenders, getting in the channel, getting the ball, and straight away put his foot on it, turned around, faced up his defender, and had a go. Okay, that is what we need. He turned around and he went, but he did just play the ball out to Bernard on the left, and then he had another one where he just played out to Luca on the left. But to turn and actually have a whole 180 degrees to play with, to look up and say, okay, I can either ping it over to the far right side, I can either, hold it up for a player to run on and go past me, or I can play it out to the wings, out to the defender, out to there, and then move on from there. Play little intricate 1-2 passes with the my fellow teammates. Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't do that. Sigurdsson doesn't do that. But right away, that lad's instinct is just to turn and face the goal and go at the goal, put the defense on the back foot, and try and score. He probably should have scored. He did put one just wide after a lovely little bit of play Individual skill again. I think that's what we're also missing in that final third from the two guys, Sigurdsson and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that play for there. We saw the goal that what Siggy can do when he's farther away from goal. Like the goal against Leicester, where he just just took every single thing out of James Maddison's pocket: wallet, keys, lighter, e-cig, lint. Took it all, just spun him, robbed him, and then scored. And that's what Siggy can do. He needs to be farther out to do that. He needs to be be able to fit 3 semi trucks through there in order for him to turn tugboat turning, and then you can have a shot and go. Moise Kean, quick, speedy, aggressive. Looking like he's going to be one hell of a player for us if he can get caught up and start playing from the top. Probably a couple of weeks, I'd say, unless something happens to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But he should be starting soon enough. I think he shows enough in these 10, 15, 20-minute cameos that he's got something about him. That's it. Did I mention every player? I think I did. Was I positive? I think I was. Yeah, of course, there's kinks to work out. Yeah, there's still a betting in process. Yeah, I would like to have seen a Wobie. There's things we can talk about. But hey, 4 points out of a possible 6. Nobody got sent off this week, luckily. We didn't really have any injuries beside Luca Dean, but that seems to not be too negative or too much of an injury. We also thought that about Gomez, but we shall see for next week. Friday against Villa, away from home. Villa looked good in spats, but that John McGinn, woo boy! John McGinn and Jack Grealish, we got to watch out for that at home. At Villa Park, on Friday, because we can't give those boys time. But anyways,